Hello everyone, Douglas here, and welcome to my classic Doctor Who review. And today I will be reviewing Marco Polo. And I want to start off saying I am sorry for the delay because I actually returned to work, and that's why I'm doing this video now. So I might be, yeah, so with my time at work, it's kind of busy, but don't worry, there will be more reviews coming out. This story is the first missing Doctor Who story I will be reviewing, and all 7 episodes are missing. I will be reviewing the loose cannon reconstruction. This story is the first one to be written by John Lucarotti, who is a friend of Sidney Newman from the CBC, and it's directed by Warris Hassan, and he directs episodes 1 to 3 and 5 to 7, and episode 4 is directed by John Crockett. In episode 1, called The Roof of the World, we start off where we left off from the Edge of Destruction, and we see Susan, played by Caroline Ford, and Barbara, played by Jacqueline Hill, and they found a footprint. We see Ian, played by William Russell, and he thinks it's an ordinary footprint. We see the First Doctor, played by William Hartnell, and he did get Earth right, but not the right year. And the Tardis is damaged. We see Barbara see something, and it's gone. We see Susan notices something, and the Doctor locks the TARDIS doors. And we see the Doctor and his companions are greeted by people. We are introduced to Tanenga, the leader of the group, and he is played by Darren Nisbet. We see a European man appears from behind the group. We are introduced to Marco Polo, played by Mark Eden. We find out from Marco that they are traveling to Cathay, which is another name for China. We find out the year is 1289. We see the map, and they are traveling from Yakland to Lope on Old Silk Road. We see the caravan arrives at Lope. We find out that Marco wants to give the TARDIS to Kublai Khan, and the Doctor is not happy with that. At the end of episode 1, we see Tanenga is talking to someone, and he is planning to sabotage the caravan. And that is the end of episode 1. In episode 2, called The Singing Sands, we see the caravan is going to the Gobi Desert. We see Susan and Pinchoo follow Tanenga. We see Susan and Pinchoo hear a noise, and it's a sandstorm. We see Susan hears Ian's voice, but Ian can't hear them. We see Susan and Pinchoo return to the tent, and they are fine. We see Tanenga leaves the tent, and he has a vial of poison. We see that Susan is suspecting Tanenga. We see Tanenga goes to the water gourds and pours them into the sand floor. When they start to move, we see the Doctor collapses, and we find out he is exhausted. And we find out from Ian that without water for 24 hours, the Doctor might not last long. At the end of episode 2, we see Tanenga pours water into the ground, and that is the end of episode 2. In episode 3, called 500 Eyes, we see the caravan is heading to the Oasis. Inside the TARDIS, there is water dripping down the walls. We see the caravan is heading to Tunhun. We see Tanenga enters the cave of 500 Eyes, and judging from the pictures I'm watching, and that is good artwork. We see the Mongolos capture Baba, and they are rolling the dice to see who will kill her. We see the Doctor, Susan, and Pinchoo enter the cave of 500 Eyes, and they are looking for Baba. We see Pinchoo notices Barbara's handkerchief, and we see Susan screaming, and that is the end of episode 3. In episode 4, called The Wall of Lies, we find out that the eyes in the painting moved, and the Doctor doesn't believe them. And they run into Tanenga. We see Ian and Marco are reunited with the Doctor, Susan, Pinchoo, and Tanenga. We find out from Ian that the painting is a door, and they opened it, and they find Barbara and a Mongolo, and Mako saves Barbara. We see the caravan travels to Lanchao, and we see them travel again to Senju. We find out from Pinchoo that Tanenga lied. We find out from Tanenga that he is going to kill the Doctor with a stake through the heart. We see that Mako finds out the Doctor has an extra key, and the caravan heads into a bamboo forest. We find out from the Doctor that they are going to capture Mako. We see Ian approaches a guard, and he is already dead, and that is the end of episode 4. In episode 5, called Rider from Sun 2, we see the bandits entering the clearing, and we see a fight go out. And we see an explosive go off, and the bandits run away. We see the caravan travels to Chantine. We see Pinchoo gets the Tardis keys from Mako's journal. We see Pinchoo give Susan the Tardis keys. One of the funniest scenes is when we see Ian pretends to be drunk, and that is funny. We see Tanenga capture Susan, and that is the end of episode 5. In episode 6, called Mighty Kubla Khan, Ian sees Susan gets captured by Tanenga. We see the caravan travels to an inn. We see Ian is telling Mako the truth about the Tardis. We see the caravan travels to the Summer Palace, about 50 miles to Shantou. We see the Khan, played by Martin Miller. At the end of episode 6, we see Tanenga, and that is the end of episode 6. In episode 7, called Assassin at Pekan, we hear horns, and we are introduced to the Empress, played by Clara Davenport. And hey, that's the name of my home city, Davenport. We see the Doctor and the Khan are playing a game of chance, and if the Doctor wins, he gets the TARDIS back. We find out the Doctor wins the TARDIS back. We find out from the Doctor that Tanenga is going to assassinate the Khan. We see Mako and Tanenga are in a sword fight, and that looks cool. We see Mako disarms Tanenga, and a shocking twist is when Tanenga kills himself, and I did not see that coming. We see the Doctor and his companions get into the TARDIS quickly, and the TARDIS takes off, and that is the end. I have not watched this story before, and this is my first time watching this, and I will say it is a good story. And if you are wondering how you can watch this story, you can watch it online by Loose Cannon. I will admit, the sets look very impressive, and they spent the budget for this. The cast is good, the script by John Louis Quixote is good, and the direction by Warris, Hassan, and John Crockett is good, and I will give this story a 9 out of 10. So that is my review of Marco Polo. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more videos. And if there is a classic Doctor Who story you want me to review next, leave it in the comments, and I will see you all next time.